My little happiness. Mia discovers a secret garden, shares it with her brother and friends, and learns that true happiness comes from nature, kindness, and spreading joy with others. Joy in the small things around her, like flowers, nature, and spending time with her family. One day, Mia discovers a secret garden where she shares magical moments with her younger brother Leo and their new pet rabbit, Bunny, learning that happiness grows when shared with others and appreciating life's simple pleasures. Now, let's see what happened. Chapter 1: A New Beginning. In a small, cozy town nestled among hills and trees, the sun shone brightly. The houses were simple and charming, surrounded by gardens filled with colorful flowers. A gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of blooming roses, and the sound of birds singing filled the air. The town was peaceful, with friendly neighbors who greeted each other with warm smiles. At the edge of the town, there was a little house with a red roof and a wooden fence. It was home to Mia, a cheerful 12-year-old girl who loved nature and animals. Mia had bright, curious eyes and a warm smile that could brighten anyone's day. Mia's family. Mia lived with her parents, her younger brother Leo, and their pet cat, Whiskers. Her parents were kind and hardworking, always encouraging Mia and Leo to follow their dreams. Leo, who was 18 years old, loved to explore and often followed Mia wherever she went. Whiskers, their fluffy gray cat, loved to nap in sunny spots or sit on Mia's lap while she read her books. The family shared a close bond. Every evening, they would gather around the dining table, share stories, and laugh together. On weekends, they enjoyed picnics in the meadow or bike rides along the forest trails. Their home was always filled with love and laughter. Mia's little happiness. Mia had a special gift. She found joy in the little things around her. She loved listening to the birds chirping in the morning and watching the golden sunlight filter through the trees. The smell of fresh flowers in her garden and the sound of raindrops tapping on the window brought her immense happiness. Mia had a small journal where she wrote about these moments. She called it her Little Happiness Journal. Each evening, she would sit by the window with her journal and write about the things that made her smile that day. "Today, I saw a butterfly with bright orange wings," Mia wrote one evening. "It landed on a yellow flower, and its colors were so beautiful. It made me happy." She also loved helping her neighbors. She would water their plants, feed stray animals, or bake cookies with her mom to share with others. These simple acts of kindness brought her a sense of fulfillment. A special day, one sunny morning, Mia decided to take a walk in the meadow near her house. She packed her journal, a pencil, and a small bottle of water. Whiskers followed her for a while before curling up under a tree to nap. As Mia walked, she noticed the vibrant flowers swaying in the breeze and heard the soft rustle of leaves. She found a quiet spot under a big oak tree and sat down. Opening her journal, she began to write. "Being here makes me feel so happy. The sun is warm, the flowers are bright, and the air smells so fresh. I wish I could stay here forever." As she wrote, a small squirrel darted across the grass and stopped near her. It tilted its head, watching her curiously. Mia smiled and placed a few crumbs of bread on the ground. The squirrel cautiously approached and nibbled the crumbs, making Mia laugh softly. A new beginning. That evening, Mia shared her journal with her family during their dinner. She read her entry about the butterfly, the flowers, and the squirrel. Her parents and Leo listened with wide smiles. "You have a wonderful way of seeing the world, Mia," her mom said. "You remind us to appreciate the little things in life." Leo clapped his hands. "Can I have a journal too? I want to write about my adventures." Mia laughed. "Of course, Leo. We can write together." From that day on, Mia and Leo started keeping journals and sharing their entries every evening. It became a family tradition to talk about the little moments that brought them happiness. Mia's little habit of finding joy in the small things began to inspire others. Her friends at school started keeping journals, and even their neighbors began to notice the beauty around them. The small, cozy town became even more cheerful, thanks to Mia's simple yet powerful way of seeing the world. Mia didn't know what adventures lay ahead, but she felt ready for whatever came her way. With her family by her side and her journal in her hand, she was excited to embrace every little moment of happiness. This was just the beginning of Mia's story, a story filled with love, laughter, and the magic of appreciating life's simplest joys. Chapter 2: The Secret Garden. Discovering the garden. One sunny afternoon, Mia decided to explore the woods near her home. She loved adventures, and the woods were full of tall trees, chirping birds, and rustling leaves. Mia walked along a narrow path, her journal tucked under her arm and Whiskers following close behind. As she wandered deeper into the woods, Mia noticed something unusual. A soft breeze carried the scent of flowers she had never smelled before. Curious, she followed the scent and pushed through a cluster of bushes. On the other side, Mia gasped in surprise. She had discovered a hidden garden. It was surrounded by tall, leafy trees that made it feel like a secret world. Inside, the garden was bursting with colorful flowers of every shape and size. Butterflies danced in the air, their wings shimmering in the sunlight. Mia stood still, taking in the beauty around her. The garden felt magical, like a place from her dreams. She smiled and whispered, "This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen." Making friends with nature, Mia decided to spend some time in the garden. She sat on a soft patch of grass and opened her journal to write about her discovery. "This garden is amazing," she wrote. "The flowers look like they are smiling at me, and the butterflies are so graceful. I feel happy just being here." As Mia wrote, she noticed a small bird hopping near her. It chirped softly, as if it were saying hello. Mia smiled and said, "Hello, little bird. Do you live here in this magical garden?" She spent the rest of the afternoon talking to the flowers, watching the butterflies, and listening to the gentle hum of bees. The garden felt alive, like it was welcoming her. From that day on, Mia decided to visit the garden every day. She would bring a small basket with her, filled with snacks and a blanket to sit on. Sometimes, she read books or drew pictures of the flowers and butterflies in her journal. Other times, she simply sat quietly, enjoying the peace and beauty around her. The garden became Mia's favorite place. It was her secret, a special spot where she felt connected to nature. A special flower. One evening, as the sun began to set, Mia noticed something unusual in the garden. In the corner, under a tall tree, there was a flower she hadn't seen before. The flower was different from the others. Its petals were soft and white, and it glowed faintly in the dim light. Mia was mesmerized. She walked closer and gently touched the flower. Its petals felt silky and warm, and it seemed to glow brighter for a moment. "This flower is so special," Mia said softly. "I've never seen anything like it." Mia decided to give the flower a name. "I'll call you Luna," she said. "You remind me of the moonlight." Luna quickly became Mia's favorite part of the garden. Every evening, she would sit near the glowing flower and talk to it. She shared her thoughts, her dreams, and her little moments of happiness. "Luna," Mia said one evening, "I think you bring me good luck. Every time I visit this garden, I feel happier and more peaceful." Mia felt a special connection to Luna and the entire garden. It became her safe place, where she could relax, dream, and feel completely at peace. Sharing this secret, one day, Mia brought her younger brother, Leo, to the garden. She wanted to share its beauty with someone she trusted. "Close your eyes, Leo," Mia said as they reached the bushes that hid the entrance. I have a surprise for you. Leo covered his eyes, and Mia guided him through the bushes. Okay, now open them, she said with excitement. Leo opened his eyes and gasped. Wow, Mia! This place is amazing, he exclaimed. He ran around, looking at the flowers and chasing butterflies. Mia showed him Luna, the glowing flower. This is Luna, she said. It's my favorite flower. Isn't it magical? Leo nodded, his eyes wide with wonder. It's the prettiest flower I've ever seen, he said. The siblings spent the rest of the day exploring the garden together. Leo promised to keep the garden a secret and to take care of it with Mia, a place of happiness. Over time, the garden became more than just a place for Mia and Leo to visit. It became a source of inspiration and joy. Mia continued to write about the garden in her journal, capturing its beauty in words and drawings. I feel so lucky to have found this place, Mia wrote one evening. It reminds me that happiness can be found in the simplest things, like a flower or the sound of the wind. Mia's secret garden taught her to appreciate the beauty of nature and the importance of finding peace in the little things. It became her sanctuary, a place where she could always find happiness and inspiration. And so, Mia's adventures in the secret garden marked the beginning of a special chapter in her life, one filled with wonder, joy, and a deeper connection to the world around her. Chapter 3. Sharing Happiness. Inviting Leo, Mia sat on her bed, holding her journal filled with sketches and notes about the secret garden. She thought about how happy the garden made her and smiled. Suddenly, an idea came to her. I should share this place with Leo, she said to herself. He'll love it just as much as I do. The next morning, Mia found her younger brother, Leo, playing with Whiskers in the living room. Leo, she said with a big grin, I have a surprise for you. Do you want to see it? Leo's eyes lit up. A surprise? What is it, Mia? You'll have to come with me to find out, Mia replied mysteriously. She grabbed his hand, and they headed toward the woods. Mia led Leo through the trees and bushes until they reached the entrance of the hidden garden. Close your eyes, she said. Leo closed his eyes tightly as Mia guided him through the bushes. Okay, open them now, Mia exclaimed. When Leo opened his eyes, he gasped in amazement. Wow, Mia! This place is magical, he shouted. The vibrant flowers, fluttering butterflies, and the gentle hum of bees filled the air with life. Leo spun around, taking in every detail. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Leo's joy. Leo ran excitedly from flower to flower, pointing out the colors and shapes. Look at this one, Mia. It's so red, he said, crouching near a rose. Mia laughed. I know, isn't it lovely? This garden is full of surprises. They spent hours exploring together. Leo discovered a small patch of wild strawberries and shared them with Mia. They played hide and seek, using the tall flowers as hiding spots. Mia showed Leo her favorite spot near Luna, the glowing flower. This is Luna, she said. It's very special to me. It glows at night like the moon. Leo stared at Luna in wonder. It's so cool, Mia. You're lucky to have found this place. Mia smiled. We're both lucky now. This garden isn't just mine anymore, it's ours. A garden journal. That evening, after returning home, Mia and Leo sat at the kitchen table with their art supplies. Mia opened her journal and said, Let's start a garden journal together. We can draw pictures of the flowers and write about what we see. Leo's face lit up. That sounds fun. I'll draw the butterflies. The siblings began their project with enthusiasm. Mia drew a detailed sketch of Luna, adding soft colors to match its glow. Leo drew butterflies with big, colorful wings and gave each one a funny name. We should write down what we do in the garden, too, Mia suggested. Like when we found the wild strawberries today. Leo nodded. And the games we play. We can make it our adventure book. The journal quickly became a shared treasure. They added stickers of flowers and animals, used colorful pens to decorate the pages, and even pressed small leaves and petals between the pages to keep as memories. A fun project. Mia and Leo made it a habit to bring the journal with them whenever they visited the garden. Each time, they added new drawings and stories. One sunny afternoon, Mia wrote, "Today, we saw a butterfly land on Luna. It stayed for a long time, like it knew Luna was special." Leo added, "I saw a bird building a nest in the tree near the garden. We should name the bird Nestor." The garden journal became more than just a book. It was a way for Mia and Leo to celebrate their adventures and the happiness they found in the secret garden. Growing closer, the time Mia and Leo spent in the garden brought them closer as siblings. They learned to work together, share ideas, and appreciate each other's creativity. One day, Leo turned to Mia and said, "Thank you for sharing this garden with me, Mia. It's my favorite place in the whole world." Mia smiled and hugged him. "I'm glad you love it as much as I do. This garden is our little piece of happiness." The secret garden became their special place, a source of joy, inspiration, and countless memories. Together, they learned that happiness grows even bigger when it's shared. Chapter 4. A Stormy Day. The unexpected storm. One morning, Mia woke up to the sound of thunder rumbling in the distance. She ran to the window and saw dark clouds gathering in the sky. The sun, which usually brightened the little town, was hidden behind the heavy gray clouds. "Oh no," Mia whispered. "A storm is coming." She thought of her secret garden. What will happen to Luna and the flowers, she wondered. The idea of the wind and rain damaging her beautiful garden made her feel worried. Mia rushed to find Leo, who was playing with Whiskers in the living room. "Leo, we need to go to the garden," she said urgently. "The storm might hurt the flowers, and we need to protect them." Leo looked outside and nodded. "Let's hurry before it starts raining." Taking shelter, the siblings grabbed their raincoats and dashed outside. The wind was already picking up, and the first drops of rain began to fall. The sky grew darker as they made their way through the woods to the secret garden. When they arrived, Mia's heart sank. The wind was bending the tall flowers, and the leaves were shaking. Luna, her glowing flower, looked fragile in the rough weather. "We have to help them," Mia said. Mia and Leo quickly got to work. They gathered large leaves and branches from the nearby trees and used them to cover the flowers. Mia carefully shielded Luna with a wide branch, making sure it wouldn't touch the flower but would block the rain. "Stay safe, Luna," she whispered. Leo ran around, checking the other parts of the garden. "Mia, this corner looks okay now," he called out. The rain started falling harder, but Mia and Leo didn't stop. They worked together, determined to protect their garden. Finally, when they had done all they could, they found a safe spot under a tree to take shelter. Finding joy in the storm. As the storm continued, the wind whistled through the trees, and the rain poured down in steady streams. Mia and Leo sat close together, watching the raindrops splash on the leaves and the ground. After a while, Leo stood up and said, "The rain isn't so bad. Look at the puddles." Mia smiled. "You're right. Let's make the best of it." They stepped out from under the tree and began jumping in the puddles. Water splashed everywhere as they laughed and played. Leo spun around in the rain, holding his arms wide open. "This is fun," he shouted. Mia joined in, spinning and dancing in the rain. The cold drops tickled her face, and her worries about the garden started to fade. They played a game of raindrop catch, trying to catch raindrops in their hands. Then, they found sticks and floated them in a puddle, pretending it was a tiny boat race. An unexpected rainbow. After some time, the rain began to slow down, and the clouds started to break apart. Sunlight peeked through, casting a golden glow over the garden. "Look, Mia," Leo said, pointing to the sky. Mia looked up and gasped. A beautiful rainbow stretched across the sky, its colors shining brightly. "It's so pretty," she said. The rainbow felt like a promise that everything would be okay. Mia and Leo stood together, enjoying the moment of peace and beauty after the storm. Checking the garden, when the rain completely stopped, Mia and Leo went back to check on the garden. They carefully removed the leaves and branches they had used for protection. Mia was relieved to see that most of the flowers were still standing. Luna, her special flower, glowed softly in the evening light, just as it always did. "Luna is safe," Mia said, smiling with relief. Leo looked around and said, "We did a good job, Mia." The garden looks happy again, a lesson learned. As they walked back home, Mia thought about the day. "Even though the storm was scary, we still found a way to have fun," she said. Leo nodded. "And we worked together to protect the garden. That made me happy." Mia smiled at her brother. Sometimes, happiness is about finding the good in a bad situation. "I'm glad we have each other." The stormy day taught Mia and Leo an important lesson. Even when things don't go as planned, they could still find joy and strength by working together and looking for the bright side. Their garden, just like their bond as siblings, remained a source of happiness and hope. Chapter 5: The Aftermath. A beautiful rainbow. The morning after the storm, Mia and Leo woke up early. The sun was shining brightly, and the air felt fresh and cool. "Let's go check on the garden," Mia said excitedly. Leo nodded, grabbing his boots. "I hope Luna and the flowers are okay." When they reached the garden, they were amazed. The storm had left behind a magical sight. Raindrops clung to the petals and leaves, sparkling like tiny diamonds in the sunlight. The colors of the flowers seemed even brighter, and the air was filled with the sweet smell of wet earth and blossoms. "Wow!" Leo said, his eyes wide with wonder. Mia walked over to Luna, her glowing flower. "Luna is safe," she said with relief. The flower looked as beautiful as ever, its soft glow blending perfectly with the sunshine. As they admired the garden, a rainbow appeared in the sky, stretching from one end of the hills to the other. Its colors were vivid and bright, painting the world with a sense of hope and happiness. "It's so beautiful," Mia whispered. Leo grinned. "It feels like a reward for all our hard work yesterday." The surprise visitor, while Mia and Leo were busy enjoying the beauty of the garden, they noticed something moving in the bushes. "Did you see that?" Leo asked, pointing toward the movement. Mia nodded. "What could it be?" Slowly, they crept closer. Out of the bushes hopped a small, gray rabbit with big, curious eyes. Its nose twitched as it looked up at them. "A rabbit!" Leo exclaimed softly. The rabbit didn't run away. Instead, it sat still, as if it were studying them. Mia knelt down and held out her hand. "Hello, little one," she said gently. The rabbit sniffed the air and then hopped closer. It seemed friendly and unafraid. Leo giggled. "Let's call him Bunny." "Bunny it is," Mia agreed, smiling. Creating a home for Bunny, Mia and Leo decided to make Bunny feel welcome in the garden. They wanted him to have a safe place to stay, especially if another storm came. "Let's build a little house for Bunny," Mia suggested. "Great idea," Leo said. The siblings got to work, gathering twigs, leaves, and small branches from around the garden. They used the twigs to create a frame and covered it with leaves to make a cozy shelter. "This will keep him dry if it rains again," Mia said, placing the final leaf on top. They also brought some fresh vegetables from home, carrots and lettuce for Bunny to eat. They placed a small bowl of water nearby, making sure their new friend would have everything he needed. When they were done, Bunny hopped over to the shelter and sniffed it curiously. Then, he stepped inside and settled down. "He likes it," Leo said, clapping his hands. Mia laughed. "I think he knows we're his friends now." A new friend. Over the next few days, Bunny became a regular part of Mia and Leo's visits to the garden. He followed them around as they tended to the flowers and played games. Sometimes, he even sat next to them while they added drawings and stories to their garden journal. Bunny makes the garden even more special, Leo said one afternoon as they watched him nibble on a carrot. Mia nodded. He's a reminder that the garden is full of surprises and happiness. A lesson in kindness. Caring for Bunny brought Mia and Leo even closer together. They realized how much joy they felt when they helped someone, or in this case, some bunny. It feels good to take care of Bunny, Mia said one evening. Leo agreed. Happiness grows when we share it, just like the flowers in our garden. The storm had brought challenges, but it had also brought new experiences and a new friend. Mia and Leo learned that even after difficult times, there could be beauty, joy, and a chance to grow. As they walked home, hand in hand, they felt grateful not just for the garden and Bunny, but also for the little moments of happiness that made their days so bright. Chapter 6. A Day of Adventure. Exploring together. One sunny morning, Mia and Leo decided to spend the entire day exploring the woods around their secret garden. Let's bring Bunny with us, Leo suggested, holding out his hand to their new furry friend. Bunny twitched his nose and hopped along happily, following the siblings as they walked into the trees. The woods were cool and full of interesting things to discover. Mia pointed to a winding path. Let's see where this leads. As they wandered, they found shiny rocks, unusual plants, and trees with branches that twisted like art. Look at this rock. It sparkles in the sun, Leo said, holding up a small, glittering stone. Mia smiled. We can add it to our garden collection. Bunny seemed to enjoy the adventure too, hopping ahead and stopping to sniff at the ground. The woods were alive with sounds: the rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the soft babbling of a nearby stream. Every step felt like a new discovery, filling their hearts with joy. A picnic in the garden. After hours of exploring, Mia and Leo started to feel hungry. Let's go back to the garden and have a picnic, Mia suggested. Good idea. Leo agreed. They hurried home to pack some sandwiches, fruit, and a bottle of juice. They also brought a small snack for Bunny, some fresh lettuce and carrots. Back at the garden, they laid out a blanket under the shade of a big tree. The flowers swayed gently in the breeze, and the air smelled sweet and fresh. Mia handed Leo a sandwich. This is the perfect place for a picnic, she said, smiling. Leo nodded as he took a big bite of his sandwich. It feels like we're having lunch in a magical place. Bunny sat near them, nibbling on his lettuce. As they ate, they laughed and talked about their adventures in the woods. They even made up stories about the sparkling rocks and twisting trees they had found. It feels like every moment here is special, Mia said, looking around at the garden. A magical moment. After their picnic, Mia leaned back on the blanket and looked up at the sky. Fluffy white clouds floated lazily, and the sun warmed her face. Suddenly, a group of colorful butterflies appeared, fluttering gracefully around them. Look at the butterflies, Leo said, pointing with excitement. The butterflies danced in the air, their wings catching the sunlight and creating a rainbow of colors. They seemed to move in perfect harmony, as if they were putting on a show just for Mia, Leo, and Bunny. Mia watched in awe. It feels magical, she said softly. Like the garden is alive with happiness. Leo nodded. It's like the butterflies know this is a special place. Bunny twitched his nose, seeming just as amazed as the children. As the butterflies floated away, Mia felt a deep sense of peace and joy. She realized that happiness didn't need big events or fancy things. It could come from simple moments like a picnic, an adventure, or watching butterflies dance. A day to remember. As the day came to an end, Mia and Leo packed up their picnic. I think this was one of the best days ever, Leo said, holding Bunny gently in his arms. Mia smiled. Me too. It's days like this that make me feel so lucky. Hand in hand, they walked home with Bunny hopping happily behind them. They knew they would always treasure the memories of their day of adventure in the woods, their picnic in the garden, and the magical moment with the butterflies. It was a reminder that their little happinesses were the biggest treasures of all. Chapter 7. The Little Happiness Project. Sharing with others. One sunny morning, Mia and Leo sat under the big tree in their secret garden. They looked at the colorful flowers, the dancing butterflies, and Bunny nibbling on a leaf. "This garden makes us so happy," Mia said with a big smile. Leo nodded. "Maybe we can share it with other kids. They might love it as much as we do." Mia's eyes lit up. "That's a great idea. Let's invite our friends to visit the garden and enjoy its beauty." The siblings decided to start their Little Happiness Project, a plan to bring joy to other children by sharing their special garden. Preparing for visitors. To get the garden ready, Mia and Leo worked hard. "Let's clean up the garden first," Mia said, picking up twigs and leaves from the ground. Leo helped by watering the flowers and making sure Luna, their glowing flower, looked her best. Bunny hopped around, inspecting their work as if he were the garden's helper. "We should add some decorations," Leo suggested. Together, they made colorful signs that said things like, "Welcome to our garden" and "Happiness grows here." They also tied ribbons to the branches of the trees and placed small, shiny stones along the paths. The garden looked more magical than ever. Inviting friends, Mia and Leo wrote little invitations to give to their friends in the neighborhood. "Dear friend," the invitation read, "come visit our special garden and share the happiness. There will be flowers, butterflies, and fun." They handed out the invitations to kids on their street, who were excited to see this secret garden they had heard so much about. "Thank you. I can't wait," said one girl named Sophie. The first visitors. On the day of the visit, Mia and Leo stood at the entrance to the garden, waiting for their friends. One by one, the children arrived, their faces lighting up with joy as they stepped into the garden. "Wow, this is beautiful," Sophie said, looking at the flowers. "Look at the butterflies," another boy named Ethan exclaimed. Mia and Leo guided their friends through the garden, showing them the special spots, like the tree where they had their picnic and the place where Luna grew. "This flower glows at night," Mia explained, pointing to Luna. The children gasped in amazement. Fun and games. To make the day even more fun, Mia and Leo planned games for their friends. "Let's play a treasure hunt," Mia announced. They had hidden small toys and colorful stones around the garden for the children to find. Everyone ran around excitedly, laughing and searching for treasures. After the games, they sat under the big tree for a snack. Mia and Leo had prepared cookies, juice, and a small treat for Bunny. "This is the best day ever," Sophie said, munching on a cookie. A lesson in happiness. As the day went on, the children shared stories and laughed together. "I feel so happy here," Ethan said. "It's not just the garden. It's spending time with everyone." Mia smiled. "That's what we wanted to share happiness with you all." Leo added, "Happiness is better when you share it." The children agreed, feeling grateful for the special day in the magical garden. A new tradition. Before the children left, Mia and Leo had an idea. "Let's make this a tradition," Mia said. "Every month, we can invite friends to visit the garden and have fun together." "That sounds amazing," Sophie said. The children cheered, excited about the idea of coming back to the garden regularly. Spreading little happiness, Mia and Leo waved goodbye to their friends, feeling proud and happy. "We did it," Mia said. "Our garden brought happiness to so many people today." Leo grinned. "And it will keep bringing happiness for a long time." The Little Happiness Project became a cherished tradition in their neighborhood. The garden was no longer just a secret for Mia and Leo. It became a place where everyone could find joy, laughter, and a little magic. Their hearts were full as they sat under the tree that evening, watching the sunset and feeling the warmth of shared happiness.